Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome once again to Noodle Doodle. I'm Lazaro, your host. and it's Sunday morning. It's that time again. We're going to draw in our prompt book, pick a topic, and talk about it. I don't really have a topic for today. Usually during the week, I think about what I want to, talk about. But this week, this week I'm kind of shooting from the hip, if you would. First and foremost, happy birthday to my daughter Emma. She turns 11 today. She's a St. Patrick's Day baby. And so, happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone out there. Mm, yeah, good coffee. I kind of need it this morning. We got a lot going on. We um, we did most of the celebrating yesterday, just because everybody in the family, their schedule worked out uh, to just kind of, give my daughter a cool birthday. But today we're going out for lunch. It's one of her favorite restaurants, and so we're going to be doing that. I am, I'm just working, working on tons of stuff. Like I said, I'm kind of just shooting from the hip. But yeah, real busy. It's crazy. I've mentioned it before. This year has just it hit the ground running January 1st, which is wild. Um, but it's good. It's good. Staying busy is good. It helps you out, and I don't know. I don't know. As opposed to just sitting around doing nothing, I guess. I do miss playing video games. Oddly enough, usually my wife will buy me some video games in Christmas time, and I kind of blew through all of those that she bought me. I have one left. I tend to play older games. I don't get the latest and greatest. I mean, of course, I know there's great games that just came out, but I tend to play older games. I wait till a year or two has gone by before I play them. So I just finished playing Isolation, Alien Isolation. It's a great game. If you're into that whole tension and horror and sci-fi, it's really fantastic. It's great, and if you're a fan of the Alien series, then you're gonna absolutely love this game. I know I did. I finished playing it. I'm wanting to play it again. But I do have Fallout 4 left to play, and then I won't have anything to do. So I'm kind of nursing that one. I'm nursing that one to kind of get me through until I find something else that I can purchase. Probably Red Dead Redemption or something like that. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, I've been busy. I've been busy with a lot of commissions for pop figures, a lot of artwork. I'm working on new projects and stuff with foam and stuff like that, which I will be showing in my other show, Friday night live stream. It happens obviously every Friday at 8 p.m. here on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, just in case, I know it's a podcast, but you may be watching. I don't know. But yeah, I guess the topic would be a little time off. Took a little time off, ventured to Helen, Georgia, and Clayton, Georgia, with my buddies. We were kind of celebrating his one of my friends' bachelor party. Getting married later on in the year, and yeah, it was cool. It was very relaxing. We rented this cabin in the woods, and yeah, that's the beginning of a horror film. As a matter of fact, there was a funny ongoing joke about that. But anyways, yeah, we rented this. I guess it's an Airbnb cabin in the woods, and it was so nice. It was quiet, and I was thinking of how I was gonna do my weekly shows from this place, and then decided against it and just said, okay, well, I missed, I missed a week of not posting and stuff like that. So I said, okay, well, once I get back, things will things will normalize and I can get back to my regular schedule, and it'll work out. Things will work out. But anyways, let's see. We have a bumper sticker, we have a hammock, and a garden gnome. Those are our prompts for today. I gotta say, garden gnome, right? Like, why not? You have to go with the garden gnome. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, just it was a needed break. I was just kind of firing at all cylinders, if you would, and that tends to happen if you're an artist. You Sorry, I was taking the markers out. Not like the Friday Night Live stream. That one's all highly polished. This one's just kind of willy nilly. um, yeah, when you're an artist, two things happen. Either A, you have this huge gap of inactivity, or you just have like a million things to do in a real short amount of time. And so, if you're really good at time management, and we've talked about that before, if you're good at time management, then you could expand that busy time, and you could shrink down the inactive time. And it's no fault of mine. It just happens. That's the way it happens. So I make props, and I make cosplay pieces and stuff like that. Most of the time 3D printed stuff, stuff like this. And usually people don't think about reaching out to me about something until it's time, to go to a convention or something like that. Like like people bring out their cosplay outfits and stuff, and oh man, this piece broke. Hey lads, I'm in a jam. Fill in the blank con is about a week away, and it's like I can't do it. So those things tend to happen, and that's why I say you either get really busy or you don't. A lot of what's happened to me in the past is somebody reaches out and says, hey man, I really need this piece, and I simply tell them I cannot because I'm in the show. So I had rented a table in Artist Alley, and I don't have time for it. I got to set up for a show. I got to get my art prints ready and everything else. And so that's what happens. These things tend to happen. You don't normally schedule a prop maker or something like that to make you something in time, right? In time. So yeah, if you're good at time management, you kind of ease that headache. I try to, I try to, but like I said, this year has been crazy, man. Just like everything happening all at once, and it's great. It's a great feeling. Talking to my buddy Orlando, he's worked so much, and has had very little time that he just he described having paychecks, or just like checks and things that people have paid him, just like stacking up, and he hasn't gone to the bank to deposit anything, which is it's weird. People still use checks, I guess. But I totally get it. I totally get it because I use digital currency, so, or digital methods of currency, I should say. PayPal, Cash App, all of those stuff. And it's only when you log in and you're like, whoa, I forgot I had that much money. This is great. this is great. I could buy a new printer. I could, buy a new set of paint or whatever the case may be. But it's a nice surprise. It's definitely a nice surprise when you're just working and working and working and working, and you stop for a minute. Like just yesterday, I bought a brand new hot wire cutter. It's a little cheapy $20 one, but it suits its purpose because I've been cutting down these pieces of insulation foam, and I plan to get a better one later on. But for right now, it's doing the trick. But again, that's one of those moments where you're working on this stuff, and it's like, man, you know what? This would go so much faster if I had a wire cutter. So you do some research real quick, and oh, okay, Hobby Lobby, $20. It's here, it's done, right? And man, let me pay with my PayPal. Whoa, all right. You know what? Let me get some Starbucks while I'm at it. And literally, that's what I did yesterday. I got this wire cutter, and I went to Starbucks because it was a nice little treat for me, right? And of course, blessed them. It's insane. It's insane when you think about stuff like that. But I mean, you do get wrapped up in the tangles of life and work, and doing the things that you love. That time just slips away, and so I try to make sure that I capture those moments. And yesterday was really awesome because it's one of those times where I got to spend a lot of time with my family, and I'm happy about that. So we had a good time. We had a good time. But yeah, going back to Ellen, Georgia, or Helen, Georgia, I should say. I keep saying Ellen, but it's Helen, Helen. This place is cool, man. It's like really, really cool. If you ever want a nice getaway, it's very popular in the summertime. They have a lot of tubing and rafting and all this stuff because it's high up in the mountains, and so they have this river that cuts right through the town, and people go there in the summertime to go tubing. But we went, and it was cold. It was raining, but that was cool because that's kind of what my friend wanted. He didn't want the traditional bachelor party, bar hopping and getting drunk and all that. He didn't want any of that. He just wanted like a little calm weekend because, yeah, we've all been working really hard. Myself, all my friends, we've been working hard. So it was a nice break. We got to play some card games and some tabletop games and stuff like that. And we ventured into this little town, and it was kind of funky, weird for me, I guess, because it's all like German inspired. Like some of it is German, the other half is like, I don't know. Well, I shouldn't say halves. It wasn't in halves. It was kind of like all mixed in, jumbled in together. Like you had some Swedish things, you had some things from Holland, you had some things from Germany, all kind of tied into this like little country, I guess, general store that was in the middle of the town. And you have all these little, bars and tattoo shops and cigar shops and jerky and hot sauce and like this huge, I don't want to call it a chocolate factory because there's no factory, but um, it's like this candy shop that they make all kinds of awesome stuff. They make chocolates, they make lollipops, they make peanut brittle. It was awesome. It was really, really, really great. And the people there were very nice. They were friendly, even though obviously we were out of season. We're showing up kind of in their winter time, I would suppose. But they have this new thing that's coming in the summer, and I want to venture back there because it's like this crazy, I guess, self-propelled roller coaster in the mountain. Like it starts, I guess, all the way at the top of the mountain, and you get in this little cart, and it reminded me of Minecraft, right? Like it reminded me of Minecraft so much because you're kind of in this little sled or vehicle, and it just kind of propels you down the mountain, and it does these little twirls and stuff like that, and it ends in the bottom. And so when we were there, they were in the process of constructing this thing, and it looked so neat. And I was like, man, I gotta come back. I gotta come back and check it all out, and take a ride on that. So it just seemed fun to me. Uh, but that little town was neat because, like I said, the people were friendly. Uh, excuse me. The people were friendly, and it was just nice. It was nice to see this a little town, you know, a tiny little town. And while I was there, I got to thinking, you know, those like basically this this town and its township has preserved this way of living for for years and years and years. It's like it's literally a small town. Everybody knows everybody. Uh, the landscape is gorgeous. All of this different stuff. And I came from Miami, so moving to Orlando was like I'm going out to the sticks. uh, at the time, Orlando wasn't as big as it is now, and it felt that way. It felt like I was moving away to a smaller town, and I loved it. But then going to a place like that, it's like, oh, I was sadly mistaken. I was wrong. This is a small town, and I'm a fan of Eureka. If you ever seen the TV show Eureka, fantastic show. It's a great sci-fi film. It tugs at your heartstrings a lot of the times, and it holds a dear spot in my heart. Right, I love Eureka, and I couldn't help but you know riding into this town thinking about that, like dude, we're in the town of Eureka. And so it was, again, it was a nice experience. We had a great time. Um, my buddy Monkey, he made this incredible chili. It was really great. And like I said, we just kind of we hung out. We hung out. It was awesome. And if you haven't been in a hot tub, they had a hot tub. And if you haven't been in a hot tub when it's 98 degrees, the water is 98 degrees, but the outside temperature is in the 40s. I highly recommend that. That is cool. That is cool. I remember just sitting in the hot tub, and the air is brisk, right? Like I could feel the cold on my face and stuff like that, and I was kind of, just kind of just sitting there. But everything was so warm, but the air was so cold. And every once in a while, I'd put some hot water on my face and on my head, and that would kind of chill off. And it was such a cool feeling, man. It's like, wow, this is awesome. And I seen in some videos, because I watch only in Japan, and in Japan they have some places that are just like that. They have these hot springs, but they're popular in the wintertime, and the background, of course, is this majestic, super awesome, beautiful landscape. Sometimes you could see Mount Fuji in some of them. It's snowing, and you're in this like hot water, right? It's really bizarre. but I highly recommend it. I think it's really cool. So of course, extremely relaxed. After that, I took a nap. It was great. It was great. But yeah, it's important to kind of get away. Uh, just if you could plan for it, just get away for a little while, and that's kind of that's kind of what I did. It was like it wasn't it wasn't one of those trips to put things in perspective because I'm pretty I'm pretty well uh, how do I say it? I don't have to find myself, right? I'm pretty well established where I'm at. I'm happy where I'm at. Um, with my work, with my life, with my family, everything is great right now. We have had you know, some family pass away, and yes, it's sad and heartbreaking. Um, but at the same time, it's a part of life. It's a part of life, and it's the it's the one thing none of us can escape. So someday, I hope not in the near future, but um, it's a journey we all have to take. So given that, I like to take advantage of everything in life, and I've mentioned before, I take the good with the bad, and to me, they're both kind of the same because you turn obstacles into opportunities, and I talked about that as well. But I have a certain perspective on life that um, you've been given a chance to do whatever it is that you love to do, and you should be taking full advantage of that. There's a saying that people have that it's like, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. You know, um, there's truth to that, but at the same time, it's not exactly all true because when you're doing what you love, you're working a lot. Like today, 30 minutes every Sunday morning, I'm doing Noodle Doodle, so that's work. Um, Friday night for 1 hour at 8 p.m., I'm doing the Friday night live stream. That's work. Commissions, that's work. Custom pops, that's work. Art shows, that's work. So I love art. I'll never give up art. Um, it's just embedded in me for a great many years, and I love it. I love creating art. I love doing all of these different art projects and stuff like that, and um, it's a big part of my life. So obviously, I'm gonna be doing a lot of it, and I'm good with that. I'm cool with that, right? But you do have to work at it. You have to put time in, and I think it's important. If you're a new artist or you're starting out, I think it's something that you have to kind of drive that into your skull. You're gonna be busy. You're gonna do a lot of work, and if you really truly love it, uh, then just know that that's what's gonna happen. And I think it's important to be successful to be okay with that. To be okay with that, but also you know also find the balance in life. Like obviously, uh, you wouldn't neglect your family or your loved ones for this, because you shouldn't have to. So if you if you play your cards right, I guess uh, you'll have time for all of it, and that's the important takeaway, right? That's what you have to kind of know and remember. It's like What are you doing it for? So anyway, I digress. While I was on this trip, I got to see some friends that I haven't seen in a while, and I was happy to see them. That was pretty cool. So we had dinner with them in Clayton, and they have this really cool donut shop. And it was crazy because one of my buddies, he gets a donut, and it's like, this thing is amazing. He's stuffing his face and you gotta try it. You gotta try it. This thing is awesome. And it's like, yeah, I'm kind of on a diet, and all right, whatever, right? It's like throw caution to the wind. All right, give me this thing. Let me see. It can't be that great. Yeah. Oh my God, give me four of these. And, and we ordered some more donuts, and we split them all up, and these things were awesome, man. They were really, really great. So if you're ever in Clayton, and this is the easy part, right? It's a small town. Go to the one donut shop that's there, and it's the same one that I went to. It's perfect. It's perfect. You always hear the analogy or someone saying, "Oh yeah, my town only had one light." Literally, there's only one light. But it's really charming. It's a really neat little town, Clayton. Uh, Most people just drive through it, because it's like, of course, I'm making a joke here, but you step to the left, you're out of Clayton. And if you step to the right, you did the same thing. You're out of Clayton. It's a small town. It's a really small town, but I'm exaggerating, of course. Left and the right, just making a joke. But it's a really cool place, and I highly recommend it. So yeah, this donut shop was like really cool, and we went there. We had dinner, hung out with, like I said, some friends that I haven't seen in a while, and it was really neat. It was a cool experience. Like I said, I came home with a lot more than I put into it, right? It was kind of like I do enjoy traveling. Um, I do enjoy going to new places and trying new things, but the timing was a little off. Like I said, because of one of my family members passing away. So it was kind of like, I don't want to do this trip. I don't want to travel. Uh, I don't want to be away from my wife and kids. So, so yeah, it was like that, right? But then I got there, and it was really cool. We uh, we had a lot of fun, and like I said, I came away from that trip with a lot more uh, than I put in. So it wasn't it wasn't one of those like life changing experiences. I didn't rethink my life, but it's like one of those things that you get there, you're just kind of like, yeah, life is not so bad. It's cool. Things are good, and you know, for a lot of people, that's hard to say, because there's people going through hardships and stuff like that. God knows I was one of them for years. Uh, that just doing everything right just couldn't catch a break type deal. And so going on this trip, I was like, not bad. Things could be worse, but for right now, I certainly need to acknowledge and enjoy the fact that things are okay for as long as I can, because um, I don't, I don't know when that's gonna change. I don't know if things are gonna get better or worse or whatever. You don't know. It's like they say, tomorrow's not promised, right? So, of course, you take stock of everything, and I gotta say, this gnome is like super cute. I shouldn't be saying that, but I did. So, you just gotta kind of appreciate that sort of stuff. Like, just know, everything around you is cool, it's good. And that's kind of what we did yesterday and are doing today. We're celebrating my St. Patrick Day baby's birthday, which is crazy. She's 11 today. And so shortly after this, we're gonna get ready and go out and, like I said, go have lunch at her favorite restaurant. We're gonna give her all her little gifts that we've been hiding for her, and just kind of enjoy the day, have fun. And I think that's important. I think it's important to do so. Um, because those are those rare moments that you don't get. Is especially with your kids. My son now is 21, and it's like, man, time flew, dude. It's so crazy. Yesterday we were kind of just hanging out, and um, we like to enjoy a nice cider, and we were out and about, and we went to this place that's relatively new, and we were hanging out, bowling, and hey man, you want a cider? Like, it's so weird because that's my boy, it's my baby boy. Sure, Dad, and we enjoy a nice drink. Of course, a lot of fun times, a lot of laughter, a lot of good memories being built, right? And I don't know, like, to me, I think that's what's important in life, a lot more than just the everyday grind, right? We all gotta work, we all gotta pay bills, we all gotta sit in traffic and all of that stuff. So it was nice to kind of just celebrate my daughter's birthday and hang out. So we were a pretty busy family yesterday. Like I said, we went to this new place that we've never been. It's called Main Event, and if you're from the Orlando area, it is in Point Orlando. It's called Main Event, and it's really neat. Basically, you preload this card that gives you different things to do. So like, you can go bowling, you could play billiards, um, play video games. They have gravity ropes and stuff like that. And so we kind of did a mixture of everything. So we were there having a good time, and then from there we went to Chewy's, which is one of our favorite restaurants, and from there we went to Mardi Gras. So it was a busy day. We were we were running around doing all kinds of fun activities, um, but we had a good time. We had a really good time, and like I said, it's very rare that you get to enjoy something like that, to where everybody's on the same schedule. Usually I gotta work, my wife's gotta work, my son has to work, and you know we're off, but he's working, he's off, but we're working, and it kind of throws things off. But um, it was just nice to have everybody there, and that's what we did. So today we're gonna continue on in the spirit of having a good time and enjoying the weekend. we're going to run around and go to different places. So yeah, if you have kids, uh, man, enjoy them because it's not long before they leave the nest, and kind of like do their own thing. And of course, you feel proud, and you're happy about it. And with my son, um, he's in college and living the full college life, which is great. That's what you want, and he's healthy and happy and everything's good. Um, and that's what you want. So yeah, enjoy them, man. Enjoy your kids. Enjoy your family life. It's all good. Speaking of, uh, there are some conventions that are coming up. My girls have now taken on to loving conventions. They love going to MegaCon and Tampa Bay Comic Con and Claremont Comic Con, and you name the con, and they like it. But that's also a nice experience to share with your family. Um, I have the unique dilemma of either either having a table or spending time with the family. So that's a new thing now because the girls want to, and my son, he grew up in that lifestyle, I guess. Dad's always working in Artist Alley. He's running around buying everything he can of Naruto and Dragon Ball Z. And so now, of course, they've taken on to that, and they have all of their little shows that they like, and so I always have to make that decision. Am I going to hang out with them or I'm going to work? So it's not a bad problem to have. Um, you know, it's just one of those things in life you have to kind of you have to think about. So that's why I went from doing a ton of shows to doing very little shows, just because they're starting to enjoy it more, and I want to be able to enjoy it with them. So it doesn't help that I'm just as much as a geek as they are. So I see something, I'm like, yep, I need it, I want it. I want that Gundam model, and they're like, I want this Artist Alley artist, you know. And it's cool. I get to see my friends, um, and that's a whole other culture too. It's like there's there's moments in time where you're running around in a convention and you like really miss being in Artist Alley for some reason. It's weird. But you see your friends and you wish them the best. You hope that they're doing awesome and that they're having a great weekend. And oh man, I hope you sell out, dude. Keep it going. And it's again, it's a different experience. There's our little garden gnome. Made them all like cutesy and chibi. Wasn't really thinking about too much when it came to that sort of stuff. But anyways, it feels great to be back. I said that on the Friday night live stream as well. It does feel really, really good uh, to be back, to be doing the podcast, and of course, speaking to the community. And I'm doing new projects, or I'm doing something that I've seen for a long time, and I've never done it for myself, and I'm kind of testing things out. So I hope that goes well. I just got to get out of all the commissions I have first, and then I can venture forth bravely into this new crafting thing that I've discovered. So, so that's it. That is Noodle Doodle. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me. Thank you for listening. I know it was not very well structured today. It was just kind of a recap of what's been going on. But I am enjoying my weekend. I hope you are too. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend. and an even better week coming up on Monday. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Or close to it, I guess. Or close to it. But anyways, thank you so much. If you like this, make sure to give me a like or follow the channel, subscribe. If you want artwork or anything else, make sure to visit bot10art.blogspot.com. And that's it. Until next time, bye-bye.